I like cash money, yeah, baby, I'm a stunner. I'm a boss, I can do what I wanna. Your last was a dude, boy, that wasn't running. Made it to the top floor, but we started from the gutter. Shot up to the moon, we ain't never going under. Hits on my old town slugger. Why after why, we ain't never got a self made it to
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And some room to work. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
First carry now for Trey Sermon. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Sermon. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action. Lance. He finds his man. Complete. That's Thornton. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 13-yard line. Now Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Harris will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 7. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Niners are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Now a play fake. Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On the give, this is Harris. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Lance. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D, get off the field. 54.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They go play action now. Wilson. That's complete. Okure-Bunam. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Well, when you got a guy who's a dual threat out of the backfield, go ahead and use it. And that's exactly what they've done on back-to-back plays here. Picked up big chunks of yardage, once in the air and once on the ground.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Charvarius Ward. And now off to the races down the right side.
Woo, yeah!
And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Justin Rohrwasser now for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Right there, 54.
Play action. Now Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Okay. Mike 5-4.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And It's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
Such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football.
And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Damian Harris with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners continue to pull away here in this first half. Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Check.
Here's Wilson.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple-option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Mike 54. Here it comes. Mike 54. Mike 54. All day, every day, any day.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sutton. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check.
Now Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Hey, one set. Check.
Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
Here we go. 51's the Mike.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run it with Williams, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams, as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And that's caught inside the 30.
Showtime today,
Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the 49ers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Rohrwasser now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing,
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Samson Abukum. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Right there.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Now a give, running left is Harris. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a give, right side. It's Harris. Oh, what a juke into space. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Watch out.
On the counter, Sermon.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
40 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Lance.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Second and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver. Lance going to throw. This to the outside, it's Sermon.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They're going to go for it now, 4th and 2. Remember, they can still get the first down at the 1-yard line, though. They run for it with Harris, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied, and the Bronco defense comes up big.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow here on the goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54 Mike. 14. Check 24, check 24.
Now Wilson back into his end zone.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They'll try and run with Harris. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Again, it's Harris. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Damian Harris punching it in from a yard away. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Williams loses the football, but it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sack. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To try again after the sack. Wilson. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Powerful running. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
56 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
First down, San Francisco.
Let's go now. Blue, 32. Ultra. Go Ultra. Check 13.
First down, and they go back to Harris.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on, QB, come on. Watch the edge. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Lance, a give now to Sermon.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. The Broncos say they have it. They do. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now it's Wilson.
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Nick Bosa able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. There's Wilson. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the buses.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Niners force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
79 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run with Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. To the right side, this is Sermon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Play action. Now it's Lance. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run the option. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Niners, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Denver,